Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about thresholds and what they mean in dog training. You've probably heard someone say that to you before. You can't train your dog when they're over threshold, or you need to make sure your dog is under threshold. And you might have gone, yep, totally understand, and actually had no idea what they're saying. Well, then this video is going to clarify that for you. If you're here because you read my book, The Reactive Dog Owner's Guide, and you scanned the QR code, welcome. Thank you for coming to my YouTube playlist. I hope it's helpful to you. Your threshold is basically a bubble, right? And your dog has a bubble, like a hula hoop, like you see me right here having my hula hoop. Basically, when a dog is over threshold, it means that something came inside of their bubble that they weren't ready for yet. Right? Now, with dogs that have no fears or reactivity issues or insecurities, their bubble is usually nice and small, kind of like mine is right now. Remember when we had COVID and we had to social distance? This is kind of like that. This is my social distancing space. If someone that I don't know came inside this hula hoop right now, I'd be uncomfortable. I don't want you in my personal space like that unless I know you personally. And then it also depends, why are you so close? Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so that is what the threshold means. Now for dogs that are reactive, aggressive, or fearful of certain things, may it be people, dogs, cats, skateboards, buses, whatever it is, that bubble is actually really big. Like big. And that is a problem, because if you want to move around the world with your dog and go for a walk, and your dog's bubble is like 40 meters, I have no idea what that is in feet, so you can figure it out yourself, yeah, then moving around the world with your dog becomes really tricky. Because how do you keep a dog under threshold if you live in a big city? Or, you want to go to the park, but you have to go on a narrow footpath. Like, how do you do that without going over threshold? So that is basically what threshold means. Where is your dog comfortable and where are they uncomfortable? And we want to then work with training, with desensitization, I can never say that word, or counter conditioning. We want to reduce the size of the bubble, right? Your goal is to make the bubble as small as possible so your dog is able to deal with as much as possible. I want to be able to train my dog at this distance with people or skateboard or dog, and not all the way over here. Yeah, that is too far away. So if this was a street, yeah, I want to see if I can get my dog okay with being on the same sidewalk instead of having to cross the street. That's kind of the concept here. Now, one thing that I do think is important to explain is my take on training with thresholds is generally a little bit more progressive than others. I do not think it's necessary to stay under threshold, so in your dog's comfort zone, for too long. I know there's a lot of training methods out there, especially BAT, that basically works with look at the trigger and back off, look at the trigger and back off, and you might have to do that for months. I think that's unrealistic training. Like, in an ideal world, we would be able to control all the triggers, but we can't. Because if you walk out of my street right now and I take a right turn, if there is a person coming, then they're coming. They're not going to turn around because my dog is struggling. So I do believe that you constantly have to work on the edge of your dog's threshold. So, for example, if my dog's threshold is right here, I might want to work right on the inside of it. I'm not going to push them here straight away, right? But I want to constantly challenge them, because if I endlessly keep working here, I know my dog is going to be comfortable. I know they know how to manage it. right? And that's where I start. Like when I start with a new client, I'm obviously going to do relationship building and confidence building. And we kind of hang around here for like a day or two so they know that they can trust me and I built my foundations. But then I am going to constantly go to that border, because if I don't, we stagnate. If we don't, you will never be able to walk your dog in the wild open world. So I know there's a lot of people that would probably disagree with me on this, because if your dog is over threshold, they can't learn anymore. And I think that's true if you're flooding them and you literally go here with them. But I'm not going there. I might go, instead of right in front of the hula hoop, I go inside the hula hoop. And then the next day or training session, maybe it's slowly reducing, right? But you're not going to get that if you only work in the zone in front of the hula hoop. It's kind of useless because we already established you're safe over here. So why do I need to endlessly do work on this side? Here is where it's needed. Here it's where it's needed. So I can make that hoop smaller. I hope that is helpful to understand what thresholds mean. I also talk about trigger stacking, so make sure to check out that video as well. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll see you next time. Bye!